Hello. This video is about the documentation that I'm going to be sending on behalf of St. Andrew's RCIA program. This was recorded on January 10th in 2021. There may be changes in the future, so just be aware that the things may change. I'm recording this because I've received a number of questions related to the homework and the other documents that I'm sending out, and also to give just some initial information and offer some clarity when I do send these out. On the screen here, I have 6 documents that I'll be sending out to you. And let me just kind of step through those to give you an idea. Again, if you have any questions, you can email, call me, or you can ask during the lesson. First one is the RCIA Canada agreement. That one is just for your use, and it's informational. We'll take a look at each one of these in a little more detail. Next one is confirmation sponsor interview, and this contains information, or will contain information regarding your sponsor. And you can send this to me, or you can just send me the information. The next one, RCIA flyer and registration, is for me the most important one in terms of the information that I need to give to the parish office. So that one is probably the one that I need returned the soonest. The next one is the confirmation sponsor packet. Each one of you will have a sponsor, someone who is a faithful Catholic who will be walking through this process with you. And we'll take a look at that one in a little more detail. That one is very important for your growth as a Christian and for success in this process. Homework contains some information, some things that I think are necessary or essential for you to know as a Catholic, and then the homework related to each of the lessons. And then the last one is the schedule and some references that I put at the end. So the schedule for this class, and again, this video was taken for the 2020 and 2021 RCIA program. So the schedule that I have in this video applies really just to that year. So let's take a look at the first one, RCIA Canada agreement. So like I said, this is just for your information. You don't have to send this back to me. It has a place for you to sign, but this is really for you to read through, help you develop an understanding of why you're doing this, what's important, and make a commitment to yourself to make this important in your life, and to put the necessary work in, the time in, and hopefully develop a desire to know more, to learn more, and to go deeper into the faith. The second one is the confirmation sponsor interview. This one is really just information that kind of relates to asking your sponsor, looking for a sponsor, and then, putting the information down. It could be for your records. You can send this to me, but at some point I'm going to ask you for their contact information. So I don't need all of this information. As I mentioned, this one is the one where I glean most of the important information from, and this one actually gets sent on to the parish office. It starts out with a quick description of the RCIA program, or a welcome to it, and it has some general information about yourself, about your parents, about your religious life, and then kind of just get a feel for why you're interested in learning about the Catholic faith and what you hope to gain. Confirmation sponsor packet is much larger. It's, I think, 15 pages. In this, you will, once you choose a sponsor, and hopefully you choose one fairly early in the process, um, it will, you'll want to spend some time talking to them. The whole point in a sponsor is to kind of walk with you, to be a disciple with you, who is already familiar with following Jesus and will kind of show you the ropes and teach you what it means to be a Catholic Christian. And so in this, there's a number of lessons, as it were, information related to the program, information related to different aspects of the Christian life. And then, and you can read through that, there'll be some scripture passages. And then the heart of this is you sit down and ask questions, have a discussion with your sponsor, and really open up about where you're at, where you're going, your understanding, and they will hopefully reveal their faith life to you and answer some of those questions that you may have and kind of walk with you as you start on this journey. Many of you have already been, walking with Christ for a long time. This is hopefully just taking you deeper into that. And many of you already have a relationship with your sponsor. And the purpose of this document, this process, this packet, is to hopefully open up that conversation more about your faith life, develop a relationship with your sponsor uh, with regards to, religious discussion, faithfulness, holiness, um, and you may have a good secular relationship with the sponsor, but this will bring in potentially new aspects, new avenues of to deepen your relationship. So this process is designed to encourage you to go deeper into the spiritual relationship with your sponsor. You may already have one. This will hopefully open up new doors and avenues that you haven't considered or talked about before. And for those of you that don't have it, this will certainly create a new dimension to your relationship with your sponsor and encourage you to explore areas of your life, your faith life, that you haven't done so before. Next one is the homework. And as I mentioned, there's some things at the beginning that I think are relevant to every good Christian to know, or every good Catholic. So there's some of the most important prayers that we pray. So it would be good to memorize those. Catholic principle, obligation of precepts of the Catholic faith, um, 10 commandments. So kind of the basics that it would be good to memorize. And then there's homework for each lesson. So this one is schedule and references. In here we have the schedule. It started on October 19th, where we had a presentation, an introduction, a welcome to the RCIA program. And then we followed 2 weeks later with another kind of welcome to and walkthrough of the catechism, and then really started digging into the lessons on November 16th with the Creed and the Trinity. With that in mind, I want to just kind of look at the homework. We have the lesson here. This was the welcome to RCIA, basically the introduction. And after that lesson, we know that the next lesson will be the Creed and the Trinity. And the readings for the next lesson are in the outlines. This book right here, Outlines of the Catholic Faith. It's basically a condensed version. It's a very slim version of the Catechism. And so the readings are taken out of that. And this is your primary homework, the outlines reading, in addition to prayer every day. I always encourage everyone to pray every day. And then I have in here as well some suggested links related to the topic, Creed and the Trinity. So there's lessons, YouTube videos by respected Catholic theologians, teachers, apologists, and clergy that detail or focus on one aspect or another, and do a really good job of explaining things. So I thought I would share those with you. And again, most of them, well, they each have a topic or kind of what they're focused on. They have who's presenting it and how long it takes. And if you look here, there's really quick videos. So, I mean, with all of these together, it might be equal to 2 TV shows. And I won't say which one you will glean more good information from, but I strongly encourage you to take a look at some of these videos, especially if the topic really strikes your interest. And then I have optional videos as well that explain even in greater detail. Some of them are longer, some of them aren't exactly on the topic, but are related. So those you can watch as well. And then it goes on to the next lesson. So when we do Creed in the Trinity, the next lesson we will be covering is prayer. And then the readings are going to be from the outlines. And then actually for this one, it was such a good video from Father Mike Schmitz, who's a priest up in the Duluth Diocese. Such a good video that I put it in here as a required homework, and then some suggested links as well, and optional links, and so on and so forth. And that takes you through all the lessons. So that's the homework. And again, if you have questions on that when the lesson starts or at any point, certainly feel free to ask me, and probably ask me in the class, because I'm sure if you have a question, there'll be others that are confused as well. And I'm always working to make this a little more clear, a little more effective in terms of being able to teach the faith to you so you can make an informed decision. And again, the last one is the schedule. Probably the most important, because without the schedule, we wouldn't know what was going on. So I have some information related to the sponsors. It's also on the sponsor sheet as well. A little section here about confirmation name, about weather. We do get some good weather here in Minnesota, especially in the winter time, which is when most of these classes are taking place. And then the schedule. And again, this is for the 2021 year, so that will change. Be aware that there is a right of election. Well, I'll talk more about that as we get closer to it, but that's primarily for the catechumens, those who need to receive baptism. And that it happens in St. Cloud at the Cathedral of St. Mary, and the bishop is the presider of that rite. I also have in here the Holy Triduum, so Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Easter Vigil. I encourage you to attend all of it, but really there's some information about Easter Vigil. We usually get together earlier in the day to kind of do a rehearsal walkthrough, make sure everybody's clear, if there's any questions, and these times may change. And as we get closer to that event or to the Easter Vigil, I'll definitely make sure that you have all the information you need. And then at the end of this document, I don't have by any means a comprehensive list, but some good information if you want to get started, to get your feet wet. If you tried to read everything that St. Thomas Aquinas wrote, it would probably take you a lifetime, and more than that, just to understand it. So very good stuff there. But very deep theologically. I'm list some spiritual writers who approach their faith from a slightly different angle than, say, St. Thomas Aquinas, who's very intellectual. And there's crossover, but these are more mystical in terms of, they really explain what it means to draw close to God. St. Thomas Aquinas is a lot more cerebral, intellectual. St. John of the Cross, St. Teresa of Avila are very much speaking from the heart. So hopefully there's something here that will appeal to everyone. And there's a ton more resources and an endless supply of reading that you could be doing. Always all to continue to go deeper into your faith life. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. And I think that's it. Have a nice day. God bless.